Hey everyone, JagTagger93 here with another Doom WoD review. This one is called Fungus by Jading Tsunami. Came out August 2018, so this month, this year. The description in the readme file states, a UAC mining and research base on a distant planet has gone silent. Secret experiments are rumored to be happening there, some suggesting a psychoactive fungus was discovered on the planet. You've been sent to investigate and evacuate any survivors. Now, a description like that, this could go either way. We've seen a bunch of WoDs from, well, the beginning of Doom to now, where it's set with a UAC facility going dark, monsters are there, and you have to quote-unquote investigate, meaning kill anything that moves. So it could just be another bare-bones base map, or it could be something really, really unique. Upon booting up the game, I wasn't really sure what to expect here. The title screen is unique, and the music is very catchy, love it. But once I entered the level, I was kind of scratching my head. There was a weird combination of textures being used. We got our typical UAC base type walls and doors, but juxtaposed with them are some medieval looking tapestries and torches and the like. So I wasn't really sure what the author was going for there. It could be a mistake, it could be just an oversight, or it could be something else. Seeing the description, seeing how much the author put into the little bells and whistles, I thought there might have been something more to this map. Perhaps the inhabitants of this base have gone crazy from the psychoactive drug and started creating these medieval-like structures within the base. I don't know. So I'm keep playing, and thankfully the theme really comes in hard towards the middle of the map and on. The map right around the middle section has a puzzle with these pillars and these switches. And I was really stumped, but thankfully the author put in some hints and I was able to figure it out. After doing so, the theme of the map really comes into play, and it really appears as if your character is starting to trip out. Things aren't quite what they seem. The author made very cunning use of the environment and made the player question exactly what was going to happen next. There's a lot of little simple things that are done really well too. Perhaps my favorite moment in the map, actually, is going to get the blue skull key. You go into this cave and you're going down this long, winding, dark cavern. And after everything you've been through so far, especially with what happens right after the puzzle, I wasn't really sure what to expect. And this hallway is just really long, really dark, and you're just following candles all the way through. I was really expecting something to come out of the darkness and give us a spook. Nothing happened, and just that darkness, that's that silence, that prolonged silence on a map that is very fast-paced, very challenging, was really unsettling actually, so that was really cool. And of course it culminates in another huge fight. The combat, by the way, in this map is extremely challenging. Some parts border on being a little unfair. You have just enough ammunition to get through. There's some trial and error gameplay at work as well too, and thankfully the author put in just enough health pickups and a merciful soul sphere here and there to make this one tolerable. The last big fight, the boss fight against the Phantom Cyberdemon, was really cool actually. I really loved that one, and how the Cyberdemon itself was not really the big threat for me. The big threat was really the room that was filling up with all these enemies, and by the way, this room kept blinking in and out. It was go dark then light, and that made it very tricky when you're down to your rocket launcher. And you want a clear shot with your rocket launcher at the boss, but if you can't clearly see what's going on as you're running and running, it's very easy to accidentally hit something near you. So the best strategy I used was basically just keep dancing, spray it with the BFG if you have the ammunition, use bullets as well, because then yes, you're doing some damage, not a lot, but some, but you can at least safely fire while you're moving in the darkness. And with how this area was lit, and with that glowing floor and the neon textures, really felt like I was doing some combat in some kind of discotheque actually. So it's really cool how the author uses the environment, uses aesthetics to really drive home the idea that the player is slowly going insane. And really that seems to be what happens at the end of the map actually. Now this is really interesting, because at the end of the WoD I'm kind of scratching my head as to what just happened. I remember how in the readme file it says that we're coming in to look for survivors on this UAC facility. And we didn't see any survivors. So we could assume that maybe all the survivors are dead and we had to fight our way through. Or, what I like imagining what really happened was in coming into this UAC facility and coming into contact with the radioactive, psychoactive fungus. We really have been going insane all along, and a good number of the demons we've been killing, especially the specters and the bull demons, were actually survivors, unarmed survivors. Speaking of the specters, the author does use the blinking specters, the ones that go completely invisible, then reappear, then completely invisible again. Those were really annoying, and I really was not a fan of that. The author, for the most part, though, makes very good use of enemy placement, and again, the gameplay is extremely challenging. I said it borders on unfair in some areas, but it never is full-blown unfair. There's some trial and error gameplay at work here, but just be patient, use your quick reflexes, get your breaks, and you'll be able to power through this one. Overall, Fungus, I give a 9 out of 10. It really wins out on its aesthetics and its dedication to its overall theme. And I'll even throw in 2 psychoactive mushrooms as well for a very high score. Really enjoyed playing this one. Highly recommend it. Link is in the description. Alright, and that is it. Thank you all for watching. This is JagTagger93 signing out. You have a good one.